Flibble, flop and doodle hop. NoodleHouse here and we're back on Chaos Child. Getting towards the end, slowly, but we're almost there. There's no one on this floor. There were no customers, not even a single employee. Even the convenience store, which was open during the festival, was empty. I took off the mask. My field of view restored. I took another look around the floor. I was right. It was completely empty. There was no sign of Serika or Dad either. The whole soundless space in front of me felt like a trap that I'd just walked into. I'd taken the mask off, but it still hurt to breathe. I tossed the mask into one of the decorative trees nearby and slowly started to walk across the floor. Every shadow scared me. Each time I reached a blind spot, I would stare at it for a moment before I proceeded. Where was the entrance to the theatre?
Huh?
Oh. When I found the stairs and escalator, I felt a wave of nostalgia. This is where I come with the rest of Albadorm. That's right, I got up the stairs and into the theatre. I flinched as the escalator started to move. Don't scare me like that. It was just a motion detector, I knew that. But the machine seemed to be pulling me deeper into a trap. I looked up at the top of the escalator, and there was no one there. Damn it. I smacked my trembling legs with trembling hands, and then slowly went up the stairs. This was the path that led to the theatre, and it was probably leading me to the finale that either Dad or Serika had prepared for me. And I was probably doing exactly what one of them wanted. But I had to find Serika and the answer, and there was no way that desire was in anyone's script. It was in my own, I thought. I had to find out the truth, for Nono's sake as much as my own. I went up to the entrance to the theatre and put my hand on the heavy door. Huh? I felt a stabbing pain in my head the second I went inside. I staggered and leaned against the back of a nearby chair. What? This can't be. I forced myself to endure the pain and look around the theatre. The theatre was done up in a modern style with stadium seating. The stage was at the lowest point in the hall, and the seats got higher up the further you went away, so it'd be easier for the audience to see. The entrance was at the far back behind the seats. When I looked down, I could see the whole room. The stage was completely empty. There were no props or backgrounds. The lights were focused on the stage, so the rest of the theatre was dark and hard to see. The seats seemed empty too. I couldn't see anyone. I couldn't hear any movement either. My first suspicion was Dan's mind control power. But if his powers worked like ours, that meant he would need to share his delusions with me in order to reboot them. In other words, if what I was seeing was due to mind control, Dad must be watching me from somewhere nearby. That's right. I suddenly got an idea and looked through my pockets. I found a lollipop that Kazuki had given me. I tossed it up and imagined it floating in the air, but instead of floating, it fell down to the thin road between the seats. Good. I sighed with relief, satisfied with what I'd seen. It was impossible for us to use our powers alone. If my psychokinesis wasn't working, it meant there was no one here. But I still kept my guard up as I walked towards the stage. If I remembered right, this place hadn't changed since the last time I was here. Come to think of it, if I'd come here to celebrate my acceptance into Hekiho Academy, it had only been 2.5 years since I'd been here last. That can't be right. It didn't seem real. It felt like so much more time had passed. Everything had changed. Nono and Yui were gone, Yuto had probably left his home and was on his way to Akihabara with Shinjo right now. And Dad? Suddenly I heard a sound behind me and spun around. Standing there was... You. She looked just like she had when I saw her this morning. Not only was she not hurt, there were no signs that she'd even fought. Serika waited for the door she'd come through to close and then slowly walked towards me. Why are you here? Her voice was quiet but angry. She probably thought that I'd left Shibuya. Where's Dad? Dead. What?
You'll
find a severed head lying on the ground backstage. It's been partially crushed, so it might be hard to tell though.
The look on my face must have been ridiculous. Serika's voice was completely calm and it was hard to believe she was lying. Dad was dead? Did you kill him? Her nod silent said, of course I did.
So, why are you here? Where are Miyo, Kunosato, and the others?
How could she be so calm after killing someone? It was terrifying to see how unconcerned she was. My thoughts, feelings, and even my words were a jumbled mess, but I managed to tell her that Shinjo had taken them all out of Shibuya by now. And then I told her why I'd come. Why did you tell me that on the phone? What did you want from me when you were born? Serika looked at me as if she was staring at something very dear to her. I knew this feeling. Serika was reading my mind. Suddenly it appeared. Its design was far too complicated and intricate to be called a sword. It was a sharp like metal, but had strange luster that was all its own. It was a dai sword, big enough to cover Serika's entire upper body. It was what she'd used to kill Nono.
You should have escaped with the others, Takuru Miyashiro.
Beyond her blade, I could see a slight change in her expression. Inoue? It was the same look I'd seen before when she was talking about Dad, as if she hated everything she saw. Just as she jumped, I felt burning heat in my right shoulder and fell to the ground. A moment later, I felt pain like nothing I'd ever experienced before. I grabbed my shoulder with my left hand and felt something nasty, warm and sticky. It was blood. I'd been cut. If I'd reacted even a moment later, she would have chopped my entire shoulder off. I looked up. Serika was bringing her blade down. I forced myself to twist out of the way, ignoring the blood spurting from my shoulder. This time the pain was in my left leg. I ignored it too, trying my best to get away. Serika walked over to me slowly. I must have bit something in my mouth when I rolled because I tasted something bitter and metallic. Why?
I was too late. I underestimated the committee.
Serika stopped, close enough to strike me with her dai sword, and began to speak.
Someone involved with Sakuma already made contact with me. There's nowhere left to run. I can't keep you alive. I don't want you to end up like the other victims.
No way. That's why she was going to kill me? Just like she killed Nono with that dai sword? The pain from the cuts kept me from thinking, and the blood loss drained away my will to resist. I couldn't feel my left leg anymore, but I couldn't stop looking at Serika. I wasn't sure. Were there any important blood vessels around the calves?
I'll be dead soon too. We can talk on the other side.
Serika swung the dai sword at me. And then I felt something burst within me. Okay, yeah, that seems good. Yeah, I think I'm dead then. I leapt at Serika. I reached out my hand without thinking and felt something warm and rough. I heard her scream in my ears. By the time I'd realised I'd reached into the cut on her shoulder and ripped out on her stomach and ripped out the stitches, I was already on top of her. Her dai sword had disappeared. My hand went for her neck. Okay, yeah, choking, that's always kinky. Why is this getting kinky? I mean, my fingers dug into her flesh. The only thing I saw was red colour dripping down the base of her neck. Was it my blood from when she cut my shoulder, or hers when I ripped open the stomach, or had my nails broken the skin on her neck? Whatever it was red, and it was spreading. I couldn't stop myself from gripping tighter. My fingers dug deeper and deeper into the soft sensation of her skin began to recede. Instead, I felt thick muscle and hard bone. Fucking hell. When it was all over, the pain in my leg and shoulder was gone. No, it was still there, but it didn't feel like my own pain. It was like I was watching myself on top of Serika from a distance. When I took my hands off her neck, the feeling disappeared and everything else came flooding back. Serika's eyelid rolled up into her head, and her tongue was sticking out of her mouth. I felt an unpleasant wetness in my underwear. It was her blood from where I sat on her. The blood was pouring out from the gash on her stomach. Serika wasn't moving anymore. Did I kill her? Did I strangle her to death? I suddenly felt the urge to vomit. Why? What was I doing on top of Serika? Why were my hands covered in blood? My head hurt, my field of vision was red. My heart was pounding hard under me, and under me was the body of a girl I created. What in the fuck? I cradled my head in my bloody hands. It hurt so much it felt like I was going to burst. My eyes hurt too, everything was turning red. Huh? Suddenly my vision cleared. The lights above the stage seemed impossibly bright like the sun at the end of a tunnel. There was pain in my eyes. I reached up with my hand, my fingers were covered in pink tears. Or tears. I'm not sure if it's tears or tears. And then I realised, Serika wasn't here. My fingers weren't covered in blood. I twisted my neck to look at my shoulder. My clothes weren't even cut. There wasn't even a single wound in my leg either. What was going on? I was sitting on the ground, alone, by the seats near the entrance. You're an asshole, you know that? I never raised you to be like that. I leapt up to my feet. Dad? Dad was up on stage. He was standing in the centre like the lead singer at a musical, and at his feet. Anoe? Serika, the girl I thought I'd just killed, was lying at his feet. There was no blood on her clothes, and the cut on her stomach hadn't been torn open. But she must have been unconscious because she wasn't moving. Even when you just about killed her in delusions, she didn't resist at all. Ain't that cute? I suddenly understood what was going on. Mind control. But when? Was I already under its effects when I came into the theatre? When I came inside, I felt a sharp pain, and my vision had blurred for a moment. When I tested my powers with a lollipop, was I already under a spell? The pain and heat I had felt so real, but it was all an illusion. But I could still feel the sensation of wringing Serika's neck. If you just let her kill you, it would have broken you here too. Dad tapped his own heart. But instead you chose to kill her. What's up with that, Takuru? Girls don't like boys who give violence. Hearing Dad talk in the same tone he always did was almost enough to get me to let my guard down. This wasn't the man I knew. The man on the stage wasn't the Dad I knew. What is this? What's that machine? I took a good look at it. Dad was holding some kind of backpack, and I could see some kind of device inside. What was he carrying? Dad was wearing a piece of headgear that connected to it. And the long cylindrical machine he was holding was connected to it by a cord. So that's it. If he had psychic powers like we did, then he had to have one too. That was Dad's Dai sword. But why did he have it? I thought those powers only appeared in brains that were still developing during the earthquake. My research has shown that it only occurred when the young, whose brains were still developing, particularly those experiencing something that put them in states of extreme stress. That's what Kunosato had said. Oh, this? That's all I was looking at and tapped the backpack with the die sword. Amazing, huh? One of the results of our research lets even normal people like me have powers similar to Gigalomaniacs. That was a terminal for a certain machine. That machine used to be here, but it ran into some trouble, and that's what created the earthquake. Those were bad times. Dad sounded like a child whose favourite toy had been broken. It was clear he didn't care at all about the people who died or whose lives had been ruined during the earthquake. Because of that, I lost my job. No money, no employees. It took me 6 years to put it back together. Those idiots in the committee. So that was how I'd been able to do that to Ito. And how I'd been able to kill Yui. I felt a mix of rage, sorrow and hate. All the feelings were so strong I wanted to scream. Well, it doesn't matter. Once I deal with you, I can go back to my research. It's as if he was picking up just the right words to make me even angrier. To be honest, I was a little worried. I know I came here on her own. I needed you, not her, so I thought I had a problem on my hands. He looked down at her and then poked her with the artificial die sword. She still didn't move. It couldn't be. Was Serika... She's dead, obviously. Funny, ain't it? He seemed to say. Even when I put her under mind control and had her fight you and her delusion, she put her die sword away and didn't resist right until the moment you killed her. It's amazing how much she cared about you. He kicked her hard enough so that she turned over. Stop it. You, though, were amazing. You were consumed with rage over losing Nono, and I just gave it that little boost, and you killed her without mercy. It's amazing how much you cared about Nono too. I could feel my whole body getting hot. Stop it. Don't say Nono's name. Not with that face, not with that voice. What the hell are you thinking? Huh? The way Dad's expression didn't change at all only made me madder. Did he really not understand? We'd all lived together for years, right? We'd come here as a family, hadn't we? Yuto and Uki are worried about you. Oh? What, you haven't told them yet? Yui always trusted you and Nono. It started with what he said about helping Takuru with physical therapy. You're doing a great job for someone who hadn't gone to school. I'm impressed. I'm sure it's just the way a father is. I love the rules he made for our family. Thank you. Please don't drink too much. She believed in you. She thought you were part of our family. So what are you thinking? My words echoed off the walls of the theatre and came back to me again and again. Then I realised that I was the same way. I believed in Dad too from the bottom of my heart. But he... Dad chuckled and scratched his head, like I'd seen him do many times before. It was the same thing he'd done when Nono was scolding him at home. Takuru, do you have anything you enjoy doing? Huh? Gotta be something you like, right? There's no point in living otherwise. What was he talking about? That wasn't what I'd asked. Why did you kill Yui? Why did you kill Nono? Huh? Your friend killed Yui, and this girl killed Nono. Shut up. Oh, scary. What the hell was so funny? I clenched my hands into fists, my grip so tight that in my rage, my nails had dug into my skin. How? How are you capable of doing this? It doesn't make sense. I just realised it's his voice, basically. Don't get so mad, okay? I just told you, you need to have fun. What the hell does that mean, though? I had great expectations for you. You were so broken that you were capable of rebooting a complete human being. I was looking forward to seeing how far you could go, how crazy you could become. Huh? If a gigglomaniac like you started doing whatever he wanted, whenever he wanted to do it, it would be amazing. You could wreck the whole world. It'd be hilarious. I couldn't wait to see it, so I observed, calculated, theorized, did more experiments. I can't wait to see what lies at the end of that loop. Isn't it exciting, Takuru? Dad kept using the same voice he's always used at home. But I wasn't hearing a word. The anger inside me just kept building. What I'm saying is this: no matter what happens, do what you think is fun. Think of it as a life lesson from your dad. Dad? You're not my dad. I screamed. But Dad kept smiling. Anyway, to me, gigglomaniac research is the most fun thing in the world. There's nothing else that's so entertaining. That's your answer. But that can't be. That was the only reason? The only reason he'd worked for the committee, the only reason he'd done those horrible experiments in the basement. Then the reason you did that to Yui, Nono, and Ito and all the others. How many times do I have to tell you? Because it was fun. You. The next thing I knew, I was running. The dice sword appeared in my hand instantly. It had no weight, but I could feel it was there. I listened to the blade roar as I ran down the corridor. And swung it upward at the bastard on the stage. Oh? There was a high-pitched noise and a brilliant light, and I stopped. My hand went numb for a second. The mechanical dice sword had blocked my swing. Here. Dad's muscles bulged like thick ropes as he swung his giant dice sword down at me. I barely managed to block it, but the impact knocked me back into the front row seats. There was a sharp pain in my arm. It had been cut a little. There was a delusion. It was a delusion before, but this time real blood was running down my arm. Wait, are you really thinking about getting in a fight with me with your strength? Dad didn't move a step. He raised a giant dice sword onto his shoulders. His huge body was at least 185 centimeters tall, and he towered over me from the stage like a wall. Well, I guess I could play with my son once in a while. It's not fair to give the girls all the attention. Go on up. I do wish we had more than a single corpse for an audience, but what can you do, huh? Then he kicked Serika's unmoving body once more. I felt anger, but also indescribable despair. What was I doing here? I'd come to find out the truth from Serika, but I killed her myself. There was no reason for me to be here anymore. So didn't that mean there was no reason to try and fight Dad? No, it wouldn't even be a fight. I'd probably just get myself killed. So maybe... When Serika had cut open my leg before, it had only been an illusion. I could run to the exit. If I caught him off guard, I could escape, maybe. But... Damn it all. I went forward. I hadn't done any real exercise since my physical therapy 6 years ago. A vision of Nono and Yui flashed through my mind. And for some reason, I saw Serika smiling, like she used to do before when we were in the newspaper club. What's wrong? Come on up to the stage. The audience is getting bored. When I looked at him, I suddenly had an idea in the corner of my mind. I remembered what he said. That machine on his back was what gave him the power. That he was an artificial gigglomaniac. Then what if I could get rid of that machine? I might be able to do that. No, I have to do it. I stood and climbed up onto the stage. The light shone down upon my head. I could hear a non-existent crowd screaming for my death from the empty seats. I readied the die sword. My hand still felt a little numb. Hey, looking like a hero, Takuru. Good stuff. I took a step to the side, trying to look as natural as possible. He's going to use his die sword. By moving to the side, I was able to see part of the device on his back. I hit him with my power as hard as I could. Dad heard a noise behind him and turned around. I had a clear view of the machine. Now, I concentrated harder and hit him with more of my power. You asshole! Dad howled like a wild animal and swung his dye sword, but it didn't stop. But I didn't stop even. As long as I can destroy that machine. Huh? My vision suddenly blurred. I felt a cold wind on my cheek. I could see the city in the distance. Where was I? And I'm actually going to end the episode here. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel as I upload every day. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.